Thought I'd spend some time today. Got night shift tonight, so I thought I'd do something easy. So got the Escort out again. I've made some changes according to what the tuner wanted. He didn't have a proper way of telling the temperature of the motor through the ECU, so he wanted me to rig up this Bosch coolant temperature sensor. So I put it down right down in the water rail under there, and then he wanted me to hook up this air temperature sensor, so I've got it rigged up here. It's in a good area where the air flows through, and so I've had to go back. I've got this ME221 ECU from the UK. It's plug and play, so I've got onto their website. I've got into their little manual here, and it shows you where all the wiring goes. So I've got the coolant, the coolant one here, so I've got that rigged up, and the air temperature sensor all set up, but everything else works. So now that's done, I'll pull this grill off, and I've got this little K&N air filter buried under there. I've got a 3-inch pipe coming into the airbox, so I'll rig this up, do some boost leak testing. But this time I won't have any explosions like I did last time. I tried doing it yesterday and I got to about 20 PSI and this thing just wanted to blow off. So to get around that, I went and bought these this morning. Really strong. I've got them right through the car for all the boost pipes and that, and yeah, nothing blows off of these. You just got to make sure you lube up these threads. Being stainless steel, they bind up real easy. So I'll rig that up now and then see how I go. Righto, ready to test once again. I have this little fitting rigged up, hiding in there, and I wrap it up in this old jumper just in case it goes flying off, which it shouldn't, I hope. So I've got me little gauges set up here, hidden in the glove box. But this little gauge here, it's reading in bar, not PSI, which sucks. So I'm trying to change it, but just can't do it at the moment. Too hard. So what I'll do, I'll get it up to 2 bar, which is roughly around 29 PSI. Once you get past the 2 bar and you hold it for another couple of seconds, it starts hissing like that fitting on the front wants to come off. So I'm guessing it's well and truly have a 30 PSI, which I don't intend going past that mark. Well, that's a lot of boost to be putting into a little motor, but right, I'll hold it open. This got a little gun here ready. The question is how quick it loses its boost. So there's 29. I hit start on my stopwatch. You watch it drop. Slows down real quick. So yeah, 28 seconds. I had it doing 29 seconds in the past, but it's probably because I'm holding the GoPro. I'm not hitting the start button as quick, but yeah, it's about the same as it was before. But yeah, apparently that's not too bad. Like, that's pretty normal, like, to lose that much boost in that amount of time. I've been trying to cure the boost leaks because I know that it's not the best, you know, the bit more turbo lag and stuff, but that's bugger all. Like, I don't intend to run 30 PSI, probably maybe up around 25, but this little motor, being a 4-cylinder, it's only a 2-litre, and it's got an automatic behind it. It relies solely on boost because it's got everything stacked against it. It's only a little 4-cylinder, you know, and to go up against high-powered V8s, you know, you really need to get the power to weight ratio right, everything set up properly. But yeah, I think that's I'll wrap it up now, and on Monday I'll take it in and round 2 of dyno tuning. Well, dyno tuning didn't go to plan. Unfortunately, I couldn't be there for the tuning, but the tuner wants to do it by himself, which is fair enough. Doesn't want to be any to get hassled at all. But the car, first off, he called me and said he's having problems with spark. Then he changed the plugs out and gapped them, and it come good, so it fixed that problem. And then he had a problem with boost. Boost was fluctuating up and down. So yeah, it took me a while to work out, but it turned out the boost solenoid, which is brand new, it packed it in, so he replaced that. That drum was sorted. Then he first called me and he said, he said, how far do I want to go with it? I said, all the way, mate, just send it. He goes, well, I'm up to 20 pounds of boost, I'm at 160 kilowatts. How far do you want to go? And I'm like, 160 kilowatts and 20 pound. And I'm like, it should be a lot more than that. I know the automatic sucks a bit of power out of it, but yeah, 160 kilowatts, roughly about, I think it's about 214 horsepower at the wheels. So I'm like, no, I want more than that. So he called me back a little bit later and he goes, look, I got a 26 PSI and then it blew. I got like a really big exhaust leak. So I had to pull it up. I said, how much power did you get out? He goes, 171 kilowatts. And I'm like, oh, righto, that's nowhere near enough. So we pulled it up, couldn't do anything more. I went in the morning and spoke to him and talking about putting a bigger turbo on it, which sounds like a great idea if I want to chase more power. So I've been on the Facebook pages and groups and that and talking to people about it, and they reckon that turbo's got a lot more left in it. I don't know whether it's going to be enough, but at this point in time I think I'll stick it out with it. But I was looking at the GTX 3576 Gen 2 Garrett turbo again, and yeah, they're a really good turbo, but yeah, you got to obviously, yeah, you have to have the revs up a fair bit before boost comes on. But I think at this point I'll stick it out with the with a G25660 turbo. It'll do for now. It's nice and responsive. The car seems to go alright with it. But next problem I had to take the head off. This water rail bolt here at the back stud. I couldn't get the water rail to go back far enough to clear it, to get over it. So I tried taking it out in the car and it just turned into a massive job. I thought, stuff it, I'll pull the head off. So yeah, remove the head. It's not a really overly big job. So I had to remove the exhaust manifold anyway. That had a big leak, so yeah. Everything looks good. But then, yeah, this turbo manifold, I expected to see this exhaust gasket blown out. I even went to the point of buying another one before removing this. But this manifold is actually a factory Zetec blacktop exhaust manifold. All I've done is cut it off with a flange and flipped it over to make it into a turbo manifold. It's really good. It's got nice manual bends. The pipes aren't that big. But what happened, it blew out a seam. The seam just opened up. So it must have had a lot of back pressure in it. So yeah, I'm thinking I might go in the direction of buying steam pipe and just make it a whole new manifold. Whole new one. And I'll get bigger runners on it so I can flow that a little bit more. But yeah, so what I've done today, I had the head off, and I thought, while I'm at it, I might as well do some port work. So pull the valves out, bought this special tool, auto shop, a valve spring removing tool, really good, made the job easy. So yeah, I removed their valves, the springs and that, and then I started doing port work. I wasn't out to make massive improvements on the ports, I was more concerned about these buckets or behind the valves here, the valve runners. So what I had done, I dressed back the lip so it's more free area behind it. Then I thought I might get on the Burton Power website in the UK and have a look and see what sort of goodies they've got for this head. And I was looking at the valves, and this is the inlet valve. Not sure exactly how big that is, but I was looking at the oversized valves on their website, and I'm thinking, from memory, I didn't think they're that much bigger than these, so I wasn't going to worry about it. But having a look again today, I realised that just the exhaust valve, the replacement one, the oversized, is about it's about 6 mil bigger. So I think that's going to be worth my while. I'll go get some oversized valves, get them machined, and then I'll dress back to make sure that there's a nice little edge behind it, better flow. But I've already got these Newman upgraded valve springs. I've done that before because knowing I was going to be running boost, and I've got these retainers, good ones. So I was thinking at this stage I'll oversized valves, and I'm going to talk to my tuner about getting some cams, nice cams. But I have to be really careful not to get cams that are too big, because then I'll get overlap issues. And I'll get the vernier cam wheels. I can play with them to fine tune it, but I'll have to dial in the cams. But that's all right at the moment. Yeah, I've been talking to people and getting ideas, and other people have got these Z-Tech motors turbocharged, and there's a number of things that could be that cause the engine not to be very powerful. And firstly, the ignition timing. The tuner said he wasn't able to get right into the ignition timing to sort that out, to get it fine-tuned. But I think the main one that was the killer was the vernier cam wheels. The cam towing may not have been exactly right. I know the exhaust vernier cam wheel, you can adjust that, advance it about 4 degrees, and that can make a radical difference power wise. But we didn't even get to that point. The motor, the exhaust manifold blew out, so we had to pull it up. But yeah, we got to 173 kilowatts. That's the best we got out of it. And that was a 26 PSI. I would have had a lot more boost in it, but then the exhaust manifold blew that leak. So the tuner reckons he could get 220 kilowatts out of it. That's roughly around 300 horsepower. The original plan for me was to get bare minimum 340 horsepower at the wheels. That was my goal, like bare minimum. And, realistically, I told him, I said, mate, I want at least 300 kilowatt or 400 horsepower at the wheels. But, that's if I can get there. But I'm not sure if this turbo will do it. But what I can do in the meantime is just do the head up and just get the engine to breathe that little bit better. The exhaust manifold, I'll get it so it's bigger, so I can breathe that a little bit better. I've got a nice big 3-inch banjo bend exhaust, which is up for it. Yeah, just little improvements to make sure that it flows right, because there's plenty of people out there getting that sort of power. But I think my downfall is everyone's telling me the turbocharger that I'm using is it's great for a manual car, like you can get 400, 450 at the wheels. But for an automatic car, you got that little bit more of a loss with you're going through the transmission. You lose a bit more power, but end of the day, it's gonna go all right. I'm just pretty fussy when it comes to this sort of thing. You go to the drag strip and you watch cars racing, and you see a car that does a 10-second quarter, and you're like, hell yeah, I'll do that. But then when it comes to reality, those cars are pretty heavily modified to get a run like that. So yeah, I'll wrap it up, and I should have this sorted. Hopefully have this sorted in the next 2 to 3 weeks, and then I'll get back to the Falcon.